reliable power generation is one of our greatest concerns. With this project, we hope soon to be able to convert and utilize the intense heat trapped beneath the surface of our planet.
Geothermal energy. What, using this? Well, do you have any idea how complex geothermal energy is?
Okay.
I mean, sure it'll work like a charm.
Looks like you're accomplishing great things here, Chancellor.
Since the last Wraith culling, we have worked diligently to rebuild our society.
Are you not concerned that your efforts will attract the attention of the Wraith?
Yes, but we refuse to let that stop us from striving to reach our potential. To do otherwise would simply mean victory for them. However, we currently are working on a viable defense.
Defense? Really? You've been here for 2 days before you mentioned that?
I had to learn that you could be trusted.
You talking about some sort of defensive weapon?
You could call it that. Something that we hope will protect us from the next Wraith culling.
So you're expecting it to happen again?
Of course. But if the Wraith return as they have historically, they won't be here for at least another 50 years.
50 years, you say?
How about that weapon?
Yes, if you'll just come this way.
You haven't told them that we practically woke the Wraith from hibernation, have you?
No, I really haven't had the chance.
We've been here 2 days.
1.5, really.
Major, they're not expecting the Wraith for another 50 years. We have to let them know they could show up at any time now.
If you're so eager, why don't you tell them?
Reminds you of Area 51, doesn't it?
Circa 1918.
I don't think Area 51 was around in 1918, sir.
Well, the area was.
True.
I don't think there's a hope in hell these people could have a weapon.
Weapons come in all shapes and sizes, Lieutenant.
Major Shepard, I think you'll find this intriguing.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What is it?
Something that we hope will one day make us completely immune to the Wraith.
Chancellor Duran, their drug is still several years away from being finished.
I'd say given their current level of technology, that could be an understatement. Just because they believe they're close to a breakthrough doesn't mean that they are.
You saw for yourself, their entire civilization is based upon the completion of that goal, Dr. McKay. I would not underestimate them.
Do we even know for certain that the Wraith are an immediate threat?
We can probably bet they don't have 50 years.
Hence, Major Shepard has generously offered our help to the Hoffins.
Has he?
Look, the fact is, if they're on to something, maybe we can speed up the process.
Okay, Major, you have a go. But if the drug really is just a pipe dream...
Dr. Beckett's already volunteered to help us find that out.
Oh, he has, huh?
He will.
It's not that I mind letting people are hanged.
No, of course not.
You're a generous man, Carson.
But it's the principle of the thing, isn't it? You can't go and volunteering someone for something without consulting them first. That's not even volunteering, is it? It's being pressed into service. Not to mention the fact that I'm not...
Military, I can't give you orders, I know.
No. He just doesn't like going through the Stargate.
It's worse than Dr. McCoy.
Who?
The TV character that Dr. Beckett plays in real life.
Converting a human body into energy and sending it millions of light years through a wormhole. Bloody insanity.
Come on, how often do you get to travel to an alien planet?
I was already on an alien planet.
You've been messing with that stuff.
I know what I'm doing, Major, thank you. From the looks of things, they've mastered a few basics, biochemistry, physiology, perhaps even some form of molecular biology. Fairly impressive, considering.
It is our people's legacy. This room represents hundreds of years of medical knowledge. I am Perna, chief scientist for the project.
John Shepard. And this is Taylor and Lieutenant Ford.
Carson. Beckett. Doctor, call me Carson.
I'm Dr. McKay, Dr. Rodney McKay.
I hope you will find our facilities suitable.
Oh, they're charming. Perfectly charming.
Long ago, this city was once a testament to our imagination, our creative spirit, to endless possibility.
How long ago was that?
It's true that we have been forced to rebuild many times and never to our potential. That is why perfecting the drug is so important. It is more than just a defense against the Wraith. It is our future.
With respect, Chancellor, you cannot prevent the culling. It is a fact of existence.
A fact we challenge. We will always search for a way to end the cycle of destruction.
The Wraith will always prevent any race from advancing too far.
You figure you can beat them?
Yes, through knowledge. A number of archives like this one are hidden throughout the city. Their existence is known only to a few.
This is very impressive.
We meticulously preserve the accomplishments of each generation before they are wiped out by the Wraith.
So everything your people ever learned is in here.
And in other archives identical to this one.
In case they destroy one. They're just serious about this.
Standing on the shoulders of our forefathers.
How long have you been working on this Wraith drug?
150 years ago, our scientists were close to creating a viable prototype, only to die before seeing its fruition.
So you're hoping that if this world's no good to them, they're just gonna move on?
The Wraith cannot possibly perceive us as a threat.
To tell you the truth, I don't know how they would react.
If they choose to wipe you out of existence, you will be helpless.
We cannot hope to control their actions. We can only do what we can to end a cycle that has gone on for far too long.
His name was Farrell Milan. Before he died of the last calling, he was one of our most celebrated medical researchers. He was the one who found it.
Found what?
The key. His journals tell of one man who survived an encounter with the Wraith. Farrell and his team discovered that this man possessed a unique protein, one that enabled him to resist the chemical released by the Wraith to precipitate draining of life from their victims. After painstaking trial and error,
Farrell made a copy of the protein.
he was eventually able to create a prototype of a drug designed to interfere with the Wraith feeding process.
And it worked.
Farrell was killed before the drug could be used to defend Hoff.
And it's been your job to make certain his work wasn't in vain. Quite the responsibility.
It is a great honor.
How do you know for certain that this Farrell wasn't just embellishing his results? Or for that matter, making them up? All you have to go on are his notes.
He and his team worked until the last possible moment. They knew the Wraith ships were overhead, and still they worked through the night, and hoping to provide one more insight, one last thread of knowledge, not for themselves, but for the generation that would survive. 10,000 soldiers gave their lives to give them those last few hours. The last words of Farrell's journal are known to all Hoffans.
I meant no disrespect, Perna.
It's all right. More than just his journals survived the calling. His research materials were safeguarded as well, including carefully preserved Wraith cell samples, which we still use in our work today. Please. See for yourself.